Hey guys, what is going on? My name is NoJ456 and welcome to everything you need to know about Watch Dogs. This is going to be a pretty long video with lots of different sections, so in the description I have it broken down into every single section that I will be covering, including gameplay, combat, driving, hacking, weapons, mobile devices, storyline, and online gameplay. So I'm going to be covering all these different sections. I have a bunch of gameplay information, basically like it says in the title, everything you need to know about Watch Dogs broken down into each one of these sections. So we'll be starting it off here with gameplay, and if you do end up enjoying this video or you do find the information helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. I would very much appreciate that. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the majority of the gameplay in Watch Dogs will be taking place in an open world free roam mode where basically non-player characters will go about their day doing different things, and you will be living inside of this world that is alive and growing all the time. Now, one of the core aspects of the game is your reputation. Now, every single decision you make, whether it be for the good or the bad, will influence your reputation and how non-player characters react to your presence, and also influence storyline events along the way. Now, a great example of this you are seeing on your screen right now. Basically, you've just committed a crime and the police are looking for you. They put it out on local news, your face is everywhere. The shopkeeper notices that you are in his store and he triggers the silent alarm, causing you to have to draw your gun and make a quick escape out before the cops can get there. Once the police are looking for you and do know the area that you are in, you will see a giant yellow circle on your mini-map, and this is basically the area that they are looking for you within the game. This entire area will be surveillanced by camera phones, microphones, security cameras, anything that they can use to find you they will use inside of this area using the CTOS database. Now, another core mechanic within Watch Dogs is upgrading your weapons and hacking abilities within the game using different parts and things that you can buy from store vendors, find on the streets, or just otherwise acquire. Now, you can see a little bit of this on your screen right now, however, not much is known about it. And now for a few miscellaneous details about Watch Dogs. Number 1. Not every single action you perform will affect your reputation for the good or the bad, depending on what you do and if anyone sees you, such as hacking into a webcam security system, hacking into someone's bank account information on their phone, taking it and withdrawing their money from an ATM. If no one sees you doing it, it's not going to affect your reputation. Number 2. In Watch Dogs, there is no dedicated jump button mapped on the controller. Instead, if you're running at any sort of obstacle that is in your way and Aiden is able to jump over it, he will seamlessly vault over the object without losing any speed. Number 3. Watch Dogs acts as a true open world game, much the way GTA 5 does, and the fact that if you don't want to do any storyline, after an intro mission or two, you don't have to do any storyline at all. However, certain things may be not available for upgrade, maybe blocked off parts of the city, things like that will not be available until you complete the storyline, so I highly recommend it anyway. So that is going to wrap up the gameplay section. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So one thing the developers made very, very clear about combat is that there are 3 different options for every single situation in the game. The first is going in guns blazing, pow pow pow, shoot 'em up, kill everyone, get what you need, and get out, which is probably going to be a world-class favorite, but there are 2 other options for every situation. The second is the stealth option, using your hacking tools as you move along to basically distract the guards, knock people out, not use any sort of lethal techniques, but getting what you need and getting out nonetheless. And the third one actually has to do with infiltrating the system, using your phone to hack the security cameras, distract the guards, and actually hacking your way into the entire system without setting foot on the premises. This is probably the hardest way to do it, simply because it is very noticeable if you see security cameras moving around, different options like that. But it is definitely the most rewarding if you are able to get the information you needed without setting foot on the entire premises. Watch Dogs implements a takedown system rather than any sort of melee combat where you just repeatedly beat the non-player character over and over and over. You will have an execute animation for almost every situation, whether it be a silent takeout or a just shoot him in the face, as you can see right there. It's pretty brutal, but it is the execute animation that you can do in this game. One very important feature of the game will be used to combine all the different elements of the game into one, and that is focus mode. Basically, focus mode will combine shooting, hacking, and driving all into one, and will slow down time, allowing you to shoot with more precision, hack faster, and make those sharp turns when driving a getaway vehicle. Aiden will have a few different options at his disposal. The only confirmed ones we know right now are obviously the different weapons, which I will be covering, and also triggerable IEDs that will be remotely activated, can sit there for as long as possible, can be used to set up traps, different things like that, allowing you to take out multiple enemies with one explosion. Watch Dogs implements an intuitive cover system and also a regenerating health system where after you're shot, after a short amount of time, your health will go back up. This concludes the combat section, and let's go ahead and get into the weapons. Watch Dogs will implement a pretty generic list of weapons for third-person shooters, including SMGs, shotguns, pistols, assault rifles, snipers, grenade launchers, and IEDs. Some of the different confirmed guns that we have are the AK-47, the Vector .45 ACP, the 1911 pistol, the M107 sniper, and the G106 SMG. As for the ammo, we have a universal ammo system where all SMGs will accept SMG ammo, all snipers will accept sniper ammo, so on and so forth, all the way through every single type of weapon. Again, we know that the guns are upgradable, but then again, we don't know exactly what we can put on it, and we don't know much information about guns other than that, but we do know that this will be a very awesome implementation into the game. So now we are into the driving section. So I'm going to be listing off a couple different facts aside from the obvious about interesting things that would be implemented into driving in Watch Dogs. Number 1. Cars are an imperative way to escape the police, and oftentimes hiding inside your car is the best way to avoid the police entirely. Turning off your car is an essential part of hiding from the police and can often hide you from their radar scanners. Number 2. Weather will greatly affect the way your car handles on the road and will be much harder to control in rainy weather. If you happen to enter a tunnel, the road conditions will improve. You will have increased traction until you reach the other side. Fact number 3 is every single time you hop inside of a car, you will automatically loot the car, grabbing any sort of valuables inside. The more expensive the car, the more expensive the valuables, the more money you make by doing this. Moving on to number 4, everything that you hit while driving is destructible, meaning there will be no indestructible lampposts that you hit or anything like that we have experienced in past games. Every single thing that you hit will be destructible. However, the heavier the object, the more your car will get slowed down, and if you're not going fast enough, you'll just make a dent in it and stop your car completely. Last but certainly not least is that cars are definitely not the only drivable option in the game. So far we have only seen this gameplay of the boat taking off with Aiden driving. However, there are helicopters in the game. There are more options for Aiden to drive, so hopefully we will be able to fly some helicopters, fly some jets, do some different things with that as well. This is going to wrap up the driving section, and let's get on to the hacking. So first and foremost, everything in the game is hackable. However, you need to gain access to different things before you have the ability to use it. While making your way throughout free roam, there will be different C2S hotspots that you need to hack into before you can gain access to that area. This works much in the same way that Assassin's Creed does, where if you don't hack it, you don't get access to anything around it. You will not have access to security cameras, you won't have access to traffic lights, you won't have access to barriers. Everything in that area is controlled by that one C2S hotspot, and before you can do anything in that area, you need to capture it. Another helpful way to extend your reign is to hack into all the different Wi-Fi hotspots throughout the city. If you hack into these, every single cell phone that is connected to that Wi-Fi hotspot, you will have the information to all the different people that wield those cell phones, all the information about them. Basically, whenever you see the gameplay of the person walking around the map with all the info about the person popping up on the screen, that is what happens whenever you hack a Wi-Fi hotspot. As mentioned before, hacking will be able to be upgradable. However, we do not know very much about this except for the end-all be-all move that you can use if you're in a tight pickle. What you need to do is go ahead and activate blackout mode. Blackout mode will basically turn out all the lights in the city with the exception of cars, allowing you to make a quick getaway, escape the police, or whoever else you're running from. Hacking is an essential part of Watch Dogs, and I can't wait to see all the different ways to use it. So now we're on to the storyline. The creative director of Watch Dogs stated that the main story will be about 35 to 40 hours long in and of itself. So that is only the main story, taking about 35 to 40 hours. So this is going to be a giant storyline. I'm not actually going to go into too much detail about what actually is going to happen in the storyline, what we've seen. I'm not really going to do any speculation, just give you some information about the storyline, give you some background, just because I want the storyline to just be fully exposed whenever we play this game. Watch Dogs takes place in an alternate universe around this time period in Chicago, Illinois. The game stays true to Chicago in the way that it looks almost exactly like it. It has the same districts, the same suburbs, things like that you can go explore. And they stated if you live in Chicago, this is going to be a really, really neat experience for you. The CTOS is actually a central operating system that everything electronic operates off of. Cars, phones, internet, everything operates through the central operating system, which is created by the Bloom Corporation. The CTOS was created after the Northeast blackout of 2003, which occurred in the game, and it actually occurred in real life too, where 55 million people lost their power. It was the second largest blackout of all time, and in the game the cause was actually found to be a hacker. You play as Aiden Pierce, a hacker whose purpose there has partially been revealed by Ubisoft, but I will not be talking about it because I want to experience the full game, and I know you guys probably do too. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the very last section. So for this last part, I'm going to be talking about mobile devices and the online part of Watch Dogs. Everything that you're seeing in this part is basically the influence of an online event. Basically, a random player joined this guy's session, started hacking him from a distance, and then started to hide. He's searching for the player, and he eventually finds him and then chases him off. And then he joins his session, tries to hack him, and then get out. Not very much information is actually shown throughout this. There's not much information about like what happens, why this happens, why you're trying to hack the person. Nothing like that is shown. However, we do know that you are able to enter any player session and you can blend in as a non-player character. So any person walking on the street could actually be another player in your game at that point in time, could kill you, could help you, could do whatever you want. Another example of players working together was Aiden requesting help. Whoever was playing, someone on a tablet joined into their game from their tablet. Basically, they were playing on an iPad, an iPhone, an Android device, anything like that. They were playing on their tablet, playing the Watch Dogs app, which I'm sure will be announced very, very soon. They basically got into their game and started hacking things that were around Aiden, helping him escape. There's a helicopter above. He hacked the helicopter from the tablet, disabled the helicopter, allowing Aiden to escape. So it's a very, very cool implementation. There's not very much information they've shared with us or released, but it is definitely coming. It is definitely going to be an online game, and I can't wait to see what comes out with it. So anyway, guys, we are reaching the end of the video. If you have any other questions or just want to stay up to date with all the latest Watch Dogs content, stuff like that, just be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will be posting a ton of Watch Dogs videos in the upcoming days, and especially when the game is released. And also, I will be doing some updates on my Twitter, so if you want to go follow my Twitter account, that would be very much appreciated. This video took me about 10 hours to do, so if you guys can take 2 seconds of your time, hit that like button, share it around with your friends, that would be very, very much appreciated. I would definitely appreciate your help with that. Be sure to leave a comment letting me know what you think about this game, if you are excited for this game, and what is your favorite part that you're looking forward to most. But anyway, guys, that is about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. My name is MidNoahJ456, and I will see you later.